I greet you all lovers of freedom, all over the world. I greet you. I thank you for standing strong till this day. We must rush into the program of the day. A lot of Nigerian believers, a lot of people who once believed in one Nigeria, who are not Biafrans, scholars, who have been in the public domain, giving their own, contributing their own quota fearlessly across ages, they are speaking up. I will want you to see one of them right now, and you see his opinion, how he is standing this time with everything the Biafran people believe. This one and his friends are saying that they are not sure Biafra will exceed or Nigeria will endure more than this year. So not even to talk of 2027. So they are sure, in fact, they are not sure. It's very, very uncertain if Nigeria will endure, will last till 2027. So I want you to follow this. Please follow this to the end. And as you watch, make sure you are liking and sharing so that it will not end with you. Make sure other people are seeing this too. Recommend this channel to other people. So thank you as you watch. This is Dele Farotimi. You listen to him, please.
That even if they will not agree, we must be unapologetic in telling these truths. Whether we would have a country in 2027 is up in the air. Hunger has become a real issue, and we are talking about 2027. An Oba was killed. 2 Obas, for instance, were killed in Ekiti for the other time. And we are still talking about 2027. You practically don't have a functional state again. Somebody is single-handedly, without recourse to any due process, the due process law be damned, the PPP law be damned, single-handedly without public tender of any sort, they are awarding a road at 4 billion naira per kilometer. And you are still talking about a country. Why are we lying to ourselves? If there will be an election and if we still even have a country, the way Bulaba is going with Nigeria, what do we know that will be left of this country by 2027?
Okay, you heard him very loud and very clear with a very simple English. YouTube, please. Disclaimer. We are not here to disinform. We are not here to incite any kind of violence. We are doing a great job to humanity. It is fair job to humanity, which we encourage you to encourage us to do it better. Thank you. This man is saying here, this is a professor of law. He is saying he is so rooted in the affairs of Nigerian state, to the very fabric, to the very foundation, to the very soul. His knowledge is so vast of Nigerian affair. He is saying that the statehood of Nigeria, that he must be very sincere to tell the world that the statehood of Nigeria is in doubt. That the very real thing, the number one thing that makes for a state is its ability to give protection to the citizens, to lives and property. And that one has obviously disappeared in the Nigerian state. So it is to this account that he is telling anyone who wishes to hear that you should begin to, don't just put your eggs in one basket as it stands, because that the statehood is no more. He's not sure of it. He can't guarantee the statehood. You understand? So he is very clear at this point that there is no atom of security. Even the monarchs are disappearing in the Nigerian state now. Obas, kings, not one. He said not just one. And these are stories that you keep hearing every day. You come to the pages of Nigerian dailies. Students will go to school. A group of terrorists will go and take students, pupil, primary school, nursery school children. They'll be kidnapped. Sometimes teachers will be kidnapped alongside. And not in two, not three, not in tens, not in units, in hundreds and thousands sometimes. And the terrorists will go, all the state security apparatuses will be mute. They will carry out this, and you will not see them. We must continue listening to him. Let me not give overbearing analysis. Let us continue.
Let me put it this way. Peter Obi did not lose the last election. Peter Obi won the last election. INEC and the judiciary performed their magic. 2027, there will be no election without a reformation of our electoral system. If the electoral system is not reformed to ensure that beavers and electronic transmission from the polling unit becomes compulsory, I would not even bother to participate in that election, because you can be sure that Tinubu was not in power that ran and snatched and grabbed it, already has the 2027 election results written. A Tinubu that will be busy appointing weakest man as electoral commissioner, the most violent election rigger in Nigeria today, openly is Wike. That is the person whose proxy was being appointed as electoral commissioner.
On the issue of Nigeria and the practice of democracy, which they have always laid claims to, Professor Dele Farotimi, because he might not have been confirmed a professor, but he's bigger than professors, here is saying that everybody should just forget the issue of elections 2027. He said when Tinubu was not yet the current, he called him Bolaba. Bolaba is a phrase used to cajole the person of when the president before his coming into office during his campaign, he was so incoherent that he can't make any complete sentence. So the word Bolaba, it has been used to replace his name by some scholars in Nigeria. So now he's saying that Bolaba, while he was not in office yet, he gave a policy. He told his boys to go to the field, pursue, chase, and grab it by all means possible. Grab it. If the INEC persons are running with the script, the A4, the sheet, all the sheets, grab it, get it, write it anyhow you like. Then at the end of the day, he will tell them what to do. And that they did. And he told the INEC Mahmoud professor told all the people who were not comfortable to go to court. Now here, a professor of law, Dele Farotimi here now is telling you that the judiciary, wherein he is a lawyer, an Obonge lawyer, a lawyer of higher corrosiveness, is telling you that the Nigerian judiciary, it is a toy in the blood. It's a toy in the blood. We have another program with Eniebet coming up soon. Today. So be ready to watch that one, because that one now bombshell. Eniebet finished work there. Now he said that the judiciary you are talking about, that the judiciary is in fact is the errant. Nigerian judiciary now have become an apprentice of whoever is grabbing the power. Now that the wicked man, the wicked Wike, according to him now, who has been noted that Tinubu has already rallied around all the wolves who are noted, the notorious wolves in Nigerian politics. He has rallied them around himself, including the very pronounced one, according to the professor of law, who he beat his chest to tell the channel's presenter, Sheun, that he should quote him because he has available record facts. It is all there in the air that Wike and the others are just election riggers. So before Tinubu was president, he was able to command his wolves to go grab it by force, and thereby usurping democracy. That is to say that Nigeria making mention of democracy is an absolute deceit to the world, because Nigeria is not practicing anything in semblance of democracy. last time the proof of the terrorist status of that particular state, Zoological Republic in question, the proof of their terror status of this state was proven, the undemocratic nature proven, and the disappearance of every attribute of statehood is now in the table, and he is on discussing it. So let us proceed.
Well, that's a weighty allegation.
I said it because he's on video now. I beg Sheun, stop being politically correct. There are multiple videos and audios of Wike enforcing his political will in Rivers State over and above the sovereign will of the people of that state. Violently too. So if this is not, please, I don't do beer parlor talk.
No, because
and when you need to balance things, you can. Are you suggesting?
Substantiating.
Let's turn it into an argument. I am saying here, my name remains Dele Farotimi, and I am saying that there are more than enough material online showing Wike violently suppressing the right of the people of Rivers State to elect their chosen representatives. And I am saying that his personal aide, his person, has already been appointed a resident electoral commission since Tinubu came to power. So how can you be talking about a free and fair election in 2027 when it's already a fait accompli that without consequential amendment of the Electoral Act, without a consequential reformation of our judicial system, the same madness that took place in 2023 will repeat itself in 2027? If we do not tell ourselves these basic truths ahead of time, how can we even hope that anything will change? We have to be unapologetic and unrepentant in pushing the truth in their eyes. As I've told you, the truth is both a sword and a shield. I love wielding it as a sword and smashing them on the head with it, and I don't care for their feelings. I don't know how long any one of us is going to live. I'm not going to live my life kowtowing to the opinion, sentiments, or emotions of worthless human beings who have wrecked the life of thousands and millions by their actions and inactions. So we cannot be talking about an election in 2027 in the presence of the multiple madnesses that have remained with us, in the presence of a situation where a corrupt INEC chairman will open his mouth and blithely declare on national TV, go to court. We can't be having that and be talking about an election in 2027. We must at least be honest enough to tell ourselves what is in front of us. If there will be an election, and if we still even have a country, the way Bulaba is going with Nigeria, what do we know that will be left of this country by 2027? What will be left of this country?
All right. Simfubara and the River State people, that is the Iguacha area of Biafran land. You have heard the professor of law, the man who really knows, and not just lay claims to knowledge, who knows in reality. He is telling you that you better identify with your Biafran brothers, because that seat you wish to go to clinch onto come 2027, that it has been wheeled out already. This is 2024, and the 2027 election has already been written. Can you imagine such a country? We are in the year 2024. Now, 3 years plus ahead, 3 years ahead. The election for 3 years ahead has been written. The result has been written. Are you Simfubara? That is a call for you to identify, because there is no hope for you there. So tell all your supporters that you'll be going into political oblivion. So it's better you identify with the right movement now, because come December we are declaring. I have a particular program about the declaration and why everybody had to dress up. In reality, this one now is only for Biafran, so we are not going for this particular broadcast is for everybody. Recently, there are some programs I'm doing now for Biafrans that also have to do with other indigenous people of this area today called as Nigeria, where people are forced into a marriage they never negotiated. So let us continue. Let us listen on to the professor of law, the man who really knows. Listen to him, please.
Anemia is being killed in his own domain after ransomware, and we are talking about 2027. An Oba was killed. 2 Obas, for instance, were killed in Ekiti for the other time, and we are still talking about 2027. You practically don't have a functional state again. Somebody is single-handedly, without recourse to any due process, the due process law be damned, the PPP law be damned, single-handedly without public tender of any sort, they are awarding a road at 4 billion naira per kilometer, and you are still talking about a country. Why are we lying to ourselves? We must have, even if they will not agree, we must be unapologetic in telling these truths. Whether we would have a country in 2027 is up in the air. Hunger has become a real issue. Which government? Do you have government? You have exploiters, buccaneers, thieves. The government of the day has said they are making effort. We see the effort now. They are making effort. They are buying private jet. They are buying yachts. They are spending 21 billion to renovate. They are spending 90-something billion on Hajj. Is that the, and then they are falsely and fraudulently implementing Orosanye report. They are busy privatizing NNPC. We are busy refining in Malta and everywhere. We see the effort they are making. So I'm Chinese too, Sheun, and I'm 6'7". Do you believe me? I had no expectation of anything good from this government. Nobody steals power to benefit the people. It does not happen. I do not expect the mercies of a thief who has robbed me. I was not under any illusion whatsoever about this government. ICPC said that as at 2018 to 2020, 9.45 billion was paid as bribes to lawyers by lawyers to judges. I didn't say that. Justice Kayode just said judges are becoming billionaires because they are sitting on electoral tribunals. Dele Farotimi didn't say that. If you believe for 1 second that the Nigerian Judiciary did justice in the 2023 election cycle, I have dollars to sell to you. Just bring money, let's go and buy chemical. What I will say to you is this, Sheun.
Yes, one Nigerian people, are you listening? I'm here. I'm very sure you heard him all through. That he is asking, he is calling on you all. He's saying, why not we come to this point where we now tell ourselves the truth? That if you continue in this state, if you continue existing in this statehood, if you continue bearing this name of this country, that you will remain in this situation forever, because there is no hope in sight, there is no solution in sight, there is nothing. In fact, that this government will always appoint electoral officials, just like they already have appointed the resident electoral officer of Rivers State ahead. And as we speak, that they come 2027 election that you are always talking about. Why do you want to mention something you know that will always remain the same situation? Like they would say that this status quo ante will be declared status quo ante dater. The way it has always been, it will remain. So what are you doing to assure you that you are going into election that will really mean election? Other than just going to waste your time, that somebody like him, if this country refuses to break, that he will not be going to vote, because it would be a waste of time. He did not take it from the angle of the breakup, but he was telling you going to vote again without Nigerians taking their fate into their own hands. It's a very big waste of time. And he's not ready to do that. He can't be doing that because he knows the outcome already from the beginning. In fact, before the beginning. So he's telling you that the only thing you have to do right now is to see from our lenses. See from our lenses and be saved. Let us continue listening to him. Fubara. There is already a resident electoral commissioner already preparing, in fact, writing your result for you come 2027. That is why we want to save all of ourselves by declaring the sovereign state of Biafra come 2024 December 2nd. Let us continue.
Yorubas have a proverb. They say that two people cannot be equally fooled by a lie. If the person telling the lie is unaware that he is lying, the person being told the lie should know that a lie is being told. At least the person against whom the lie is being told should also be aware that a lie has been told against him. I say it without any equivocation. The Nigerian Judiciary, by its multiple somersaults in the last electoral cycle, established beyond any argument the fact of its complicity in the rape of democracy in 2023.
The most funny part of his speech here, of his debate, his argument here he is saying something like, I am Chinese, Sheun, I am 6'7". He said, if you, for any reason, believe in whatever is transpiring in the Nigerian judiciary, then that you will be a fool not to believe him now that he's telling you that he has dollars to sell. In fact, he already has chemicals. He wants to be producing a $1,000 note for you. So go get some money. He wants to produce dollars for you. You don't get that. He said that in Nigerian, anything you talk about Nigerian judicial system, anything you talk about law, you talk about equity, anything that has to do with, in fact, the judiciary as the last hope of the common man, that it is wayo, it is 419, it is fraud. I don't know the one you like to call it. We be say we be local champion. Now wayo with the column. Now wayo anyocha nambo. For you to believe anything from the Nigerian state as justice, as law, as judiciary, that in fact you have played yourself. You have played yourself by your own self. So you cannot benefit from your own. If you remember, there was a time when I will reserve this part to Eniebet's commentary about the Nigerian state and how he is seeing the misery, the hopelessness in the Nigerian judiciary. So we are here working to ensure that there is nothing left unturned. The people who are still, waiting for, God to come down in human form to tell them that the state is long overdue for a collapse, that it is long overdue for us to get our own state, then that person, you must be living in a dream world. You must be living in a dream world. So now let us continue listening to the professor, to the genius of all time. Listen to him.
People can hold their opinions, and that's the beauty of opinion. Everybody is entitled to one. Even me. You may or may not agree, but I am still entitled to that opinion, and that is my opinion. We as a people and as a collective would have to resolve to be better than we have been. We would all have to, as a collective, admit to our part, our fault in what has happened to us as a people. This is not something that is not a sectoral guilt. It's a systemic problem. from the pulpits in the churches and mosques, which stinks to the highest heavens, to the groves, the sacred groves of our land. All the places of religiosity in our country have become temples of iniquity. We need to look at ourselves. Me as a person, you as a person, we as a collective, we need to look at ourselves. It's very easy to point fingers at sectors, but the reality is that there is no part of our country that is free of putrefaction. It's a systemic collapse. If there is anything that will change, if anything would ever change, it would have to be that we as a collective with good leadership decide to try a different pathway. Outside of that, what will happen is that by the time Kekere Ekun is leaving, you will be asking me or someone else again if the new acting CJ would be able to change the system. No single person can change Nigeria. It will take the collective resolving that they are tired of where they are before anything would ever change in our country. It has taken the collective to normalize the madness that we have become acculturated to, and it will take a critical mass, if not a majority, if that madness is going to ever change.
Why I love this man? I love this man so seriously. I love this man, honestly. I think I can tell you from the look of things, if I take the love I have for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and his son, Simon Ekpa, I think I will bring him in on the equal love I have for people like Aloy Ejimako, the Eniebet. The way I love this man, I love the same way I love Eniebet Ethiop. The same way I love Aloy Ejimako and every other person who have, been very consistent in standing for what they believe in. Look at how he is now summarizing it. He is saying that the issue we are having in the Nigerian state, it is not as if it's a sectoral problem. He said it's not a sectoral problem. For you that is believing in one Nigeria, you that want to be holier than Pope, no, why pushing for this secession now? We can fix it. We can fix it. That the problem has gone beyond what he was clamoring for, the kind of change he had needed before, when he needed revolution. After all, they have even done the revolutionary protest. The same thing that yielded results in Kenya, in Africa, in Asia, in Bangladesh, and in so many other countries, like even in this other country in 2022. What is this name? This close to Bangladesh too, where they had to sack their president, ran away. What is this name? So now, that place too, the same kind of protest that they used to, have the people take charge. But all these things have been done. So in Nigeria, he said, this Nigerian own case is not a sectoral problem. If it is a sectoral problem, that in that case there is hope. He said that this one has gone beyond what is fixable, in the sense that you look at what we call democracy. He said that there is nothing like democracy. There is no hope for the common man in the first place. That the judiciary, which is supposed to be the last hope for the common man, is the one that is even being the most useless and has even gone beyond being useless to itself, by itself, than going into being the instrument used in raping democracy in broad daylight and without any protection. Raping democracy. So that this is what is more annoying, and there is no way to even call the erring people to order. That the next election you want to talk about is the INEC officers that will be appointed by the president, the same corrupt Bala Blue. That he said, where is it the religious institutions? He says, starting from the traditional institutions themselves to the religious institution, call it the mosque, call it the church, that Every fabric, every facet of what makes for a national life is damn doomed. That is what Dele Farotimi. You heard him. You heard him yourself. He said, there is no hope. There is no hope. Then I want to ask you, why are you then listening to? Why are you now, in the whole wisdom you claim you have, you are now listening to Hope Uzodimba, Rochas Okorocha, Ojos Okalo, Tinubu, listening to Lawan, the people that didn't even have access to primaries, Akpabio, people that did not contest the election as primaries in their party level, and they still had to use Supreme Court to bring. This is still the part of the rape by democracy. Please, YouTube, there is no violation here, please. Disclaimer, we are trying to analyze. There is no censoring word, please. There is no intention to incite violence. There is no intention to cause uproar or, or segregate against any sex, any gender, any group, any class of humanity. This is solely advancement of humanity, protecting humanity, advancing and giving better life to people, getting the voice of people, the people without voice heard. Thank you for understanding. So now you can understand clearly that Dele Farotimi here was very, very dedicated and very conscious of the words he used, and he mean every bit of it, because he said, you can sue me, let us go to that court, the court you want to, because he is not part of the people you go to court. He will destroy you with arguments. The brain is so hot. There is one guy, that's why when I tell you I love him, I love people with extraordinary wisdom. That's why I am so attracted to the charming charisma of the personality of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why I am attracted to people like Dele Farotimi, people whose brain are hot and they dispense negative, positive energy. Thank you, fellow Biafrans. Thank you, lovers of freedom. Thank you for your time. Please, there is one call appeal I've been making recently since this week. There is this YouTube channel, the person that gave us this platform to use when other of our platforms was shut down on account of flag off by YouTube. So we now here corrected some of those things that YouTube didn't want us to be doing, So now that person is having a new account from Benue brother, who love our freedom quest. So I want all my brothers to go and subscribe to his channel. We are also putting up our videos there to help him grow it, because he's recovering. He will be fit to operate that. So we want you to help him in getting that account very active and functional. Please, as you love our channel, as you subscribe to our channel, please subscribe to that channel. The name is Blunt and Factual. Blunt, 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 then Factual, FATUAL, Factual, Blunt and Factual. Please go and subscribe to that channel too. So we will sometimes be running collabo with him. He might not be doing only different related issues. He will maybe dive into diverse areas. Thank you for understanding. Akpan Asoko, your favorite presenter, political analyst, social commentator, and of course, a corrosive comrade. Salute.